Hola, bienvenidos a esta plática desde la cuarta edición del IT Masters Forum, en la que tuvimos el honor de compartir las experiencias y el entrenamiento que tiene María Matarelli en términos de agilidad personal y cómo la agilidad personal puede ayudar a las empresas a ser a su vez más ágiles y avanzar más rápido en sus objetivos de negocio. Me gustaría entonces que mejor sea ella quien nos platique en qué consisten estas herramientas que durante un taller de hora y media hizo reflexionar a los asistentes en torno a temas como el empoderamiento de sus empleados y sobre todo el definir qué es lo más importante para una organización. Hi, Maria, thank you for being with us.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
I would like to start probably from the conclusion of your workshop, which was what matters the most. So if you begin questioning yourself as a leader in your business, in your team, what's the most important thing you have to concentrate on? You're probably going to be more successful than if you have 40 projects going on at the same time. So can you just focus on how do you answer that question?
Yeah, so many companies have so many initiatives and leaders don't ever have a shortage of things to do. So when you can look at what really matters and at least look at limiting to the top 3 to 4 things, that can really be powerful. And so with the personal agility system, we look at not trying to keep it to just 1 or 2 initiatives, but what are the top 3 to 4? Because if everything matters, then nothing matters. And so that way you might have like a laundry list of all these things to do, but what we really want to do is we want to do a handful of things with excellence and give clear direction to the people that we work with. So when you look at your own life and then you look at what's important in the organization, those are 2 levels that if you can be clear on what really matters, then we can be focused on getting those things done.
You also talk about the importance of defining our own personality in terms of what motivates us. And then if you're able to also determine what motivates others, then you're going to be more effective. And you talk about communication. And sometimes CIOs are not so good in communicating with other people. What's your experience in that level? Is it that difficult to really see the other side of the person I'm working with and try to understand what makes that person engage in a project?
Yeah, a lot of times we see that there is a disconnect. So it's like leadership gives direction. The team was told what to do, but then there's something that's missing and they kind of like 2 ships passing in the night. And so the more that we can look at effective communication and conscious communication and techniques like understanding motivational value systems, that's something where we can start to look at what is it from the other person's perspective. What is it that people are having challenges with? Is there transparency in the organization? Do people feel comfortable bringing these things up? Oftentimes, teams try to escalate challenges and roadblocks, but if they don't get those roadblocks cleared, they stop bringing them up, and then leadership wonders, well, why aren't we making the progress we wanted? And there's just a disconnect. So when we look at things like relationship awareness theory, and even that premise of looking at things through the lens of someone else's perspective rather than just your own, or even being aware that other people have a different perspective, that can start to open up the channels for communication. And that's when we can start to move through those challenges that we might run into in projects.
And last but not least, you also shared a questionnaire. It's a canvas of leadership canvas, you mentioned, I think. There are questions that you might want to do to your boss in a way that you can also not just understand your colleagues or your employees, but also the stockholders or the stakeholders and also your own boss. How difficult is it to really connect in that level? Do you need a special personality to begin with?
Yeah, so, well, that's actually why we created the personal agility system stakeholder canvas, is because sometimes those conversations might be tricky. Though when you look at the canvas, it's broken down into quadrants and it's pretty straightforward. And so if you're wanting to create alignment with someone else that you work with or with the person you report to, what you can do is just go through the canvas and ask the questions. And that's what the personal agility system is all about, creating alignment in an organization. And so if you're asking what are the main objectives and what are the risks or concerns, fears or frustrations, what's the ideal outcome, getting clear on those things, the canvas guides you right through with prompts as different questions you can pull from, you can jump around it, and just have the conversation flow naturally. So what we found is that it is a great tool for helping people so that they don't have to fumble through that conversation. And when we have alignment, when we know we're on the same page, that creates a stronger foundation for trust, and it helps to enhance the communication all around throughout the organization.
Okay, so communication is the key. And where do we can find all these resources? You have a website that we could download those papers?
Yeah, so personalagilityinstitute.org. You can actually get a copy of the stakeholder canvas and some other free tools and the personal agility guide to look at how to get started applying personal agility and getting some of those great benefits that we talked about that people are getting all around the world.
Okay, thank you very much, Maria, and thank you for attending our event and letting all this happen within our group.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been great to be here.
Okay, thank you. Gracias por estar atentos y vayan al sitio que va a estar aquí en la bio del video para que descarguen estos documentos y también tengan acceso a las herramientas para alcanzar la agilidad personal. Gracias.